All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving into this high-stakes, high-tech battle that's totally reshaping how companies hire. We're talking about what I'm calling the AI recruitment wars. And this is a fight that could literally decide how you land your next job.
And look, I know that might sound a little dramatic, but it's absolutely true. Behind the scenes, there is this fierce competition raging between AI companies, and they're all fighting to control the software that finds, screens, and even interviews you. So this isn't just some boring business tech story, okay? This is really about the future of talent itself. Okay, so let's set the stage here. The world of recruitment technology, RecTech, has become this huge battlefield, and it's here that we can see a much bigger conflict playing out across the entire AI industry. What it really boils down to is a clash of two totally different philosophies. And this is really the core tension of the whole thing. On one side, you've got what's called the wide and shallow approach. Think of it like a Swiss Army knife. General AI tools, like those meeting assistants, that are designed to do a little bit of everything. But on the other side, you've got the narrow and deep philosophy. These are more like a surgeon's scalpel, specialized AI agents built from the ground up to master one single complex job, like hiring. And believe me, this one distinction, it defines every single major player in this war. All right, so now let's meet the actual combatants. To really get a grip on this war, we can't just rattle off a list of companies. No, we need to see them as three distinct factions, and each one has its own unique strategy for winning. First up, we have the horizontal generalists. So think of a company like Fathom. They make a really great AI assistant that can summarize pretty much any meeting you have. Recruiting, yeah, that's just one of the many things you can use it for. Their whole strategy is to be, a mile wide and an inch deep. They cover a huge range of uses, but they don't have that super deep specialization in any one of them. And their secret weapon is using a freemium model to get a massive number of people using their product. Next up, you've got the heavyweights, the vertical platforms. Now, companies like MetaView and Carve, they're the total opposite of the generalists. Their AI is purpose-built to understand the entire, messy, complex life cycle of hiring. It gets what an intake call is, that first meeting with a hiring manager. It knows what a scorecard for rating candidates looks like. And crucially, it knows how to automatically update the company's main hiring database, the good old applicant tracking system. And our third faction? These are the niche point solutions. We're talking about the hyper specialists here. A tool like Sourcewell, for example, it couldn't care less about your interviews. It is completely obsessed with being the absolute best in the world at one thing: finding candidates and automating the outreach to them. They solve one tiny piece of the puzzle, but they do it with insane precision. Okay, so we've met our factions, but the real question is, how are they actually fighting this war? Well, that brings us to the playbook, because it's not just about three different kinds of products. It's about three radically different business strategies for how you win this market. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because this chart just lays out the competing playbooks so clearly. You've got three totally different ways to win. First, there's MetaView, doing the classic Silicon Valley blitz scale. Raise a giant war chest, we're talking over 50 million bucks, backed by Google, and just try to outspend and outbuild everybody. Then you've got Carve, playing a totally different game. They landed a massive strategic partnership with Manpower Group, giving them instant global scale. And then there's Sourcewell, the underdog. Zero funding, totally profitable, and growing for one reason and one reason only. Their product is just that good. Their customers can't live without it. But here's the thing. Just when you think you've got the battlefield mapped out, there's a plot twist. A huge force called convergence is starting to reshape everything, and it's forcing these very different groups into a head-on collision. And to see this in action, we just have to look at MetaView. Now remember them, they started out as one of those narrow and deep specialists. Their whole thing was this powerful AI note taker just for interviews, designed to capture all this structured data and help companies make better hires. But with that huge war chest of funding, they didn't just stay in their lane. Oh no, they expanded, launching a full-blown autonomous AI sourcing engine. And just like that, this interview intelligence platform was suddenly going head-to-head with the niche sourcing specialists, like Sourcewell. So here's the crucial point. The lines are blurring. The big, powerful platforms are expanding their territory, bundling in features that used to be the domain of the niche specialists. And this puts just immense pressure on those smaller tools. See, it's not enough to just be good at one thing anymore. Now you have to prove you are 10 times better than the good enough feature that's suddenly included for free with the big guys. This is that classic tech battle, right? Integration versus specialization. And it's all happening right now.
So where is all of this headed? I mean, what does this whole war mean for the people actually buying this tech? And what does it mean for the future of the recruiter's job itself? Let's bring this back down to earth. Okay, so if you're a company trying to buy one of these tools, the lesson is pretty clear. Don't just go out and buy AI. You need to buy a solution to your specific problem. Is your biggest headache finding candidates? Then you need a specialist like Sourcewhale. Is your problem interview quality? Well, then a platform like MetaView is probably your best bet. Are you just drumming in admin work? Carve's automation is built for you. And what if data privacy is your absolute #1 concern? Well, then you look at a niche player like Simply, which guarantees they won't use your data for training. It becomes a really obvious choice.
And if we look a little further down the road, the endgame of this war seems pretty much inevitable. We're talking about the ultimate convergence. All of these separate features are going to merge into one single, seamless, autonomous AI agent. Just imagine it. A hiring manager just opens a new job, and the AI does the rest. It starts by listening in on that first call. Then it writes the job description itself. From there, it goes out and sources candidates, and even conducts the first screening calls. It'll schedule the real interviews, take perfect notes during the interviews, and then automatically fill out the hiring scorecards. And to top it all off, it updates the CRM for you and spits out a final report on the best people for the job. All of this with almost zero human input. This right here, this is the holy grail that every single one of these companies is racing to build.
Which brings us to our final and maybe most important question. As these platforms and these specialized tools keep fighting and eventually merge into this one all-powerful system, well, all the administrative and tactical parts of recruiting are just gonna vanish? So if the AI handles the entire process from start to finish, what is left? What is the new, truly valuable role for the human recruiter of tomorrow? That's a question we're all gonna have to figure out, and probably a lot sooner than we think.